times. We did $1.1 million in 24 hours at Tribe Buyers Live. We had email, text lists, Facebook group, like over 100,000 people on our list. If your messaging isn't dialed in, it's just not going to work. I just shoot shitty Loom videos and post them up on YouTube. My team's super small. I love profit, and it's the easiest way to sell. I put that up because I'm selling people what they want. It's going past 100K per month. Oh, dude, monks are just people too.
How do you keep more money in the business?
I've never had a problem with it. But starting out, you just need...
My man, Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on, man.
Cool. So you have sold your coaching business, you have the ClickFunnels Awards, and you have right now, I think, pivoted also in a new niche, which we're gonna cover. And how would you say, where is your business right now at? Like in 1 minute, how would you say, where's the business at right now? How much money is it making? What's kind of the business looking like for you right now?
Yeah, we just passed 1.5 million in the new business, which is great. I built it out extremely differently. Last business was just all profit, like just marketing, sales. This one, I went heavy into fulfillment and operations right off the bat, which it feels a little bit better, not just rushing everything.
When you said 1.5, you mean like per month, per year, or what do you mean by that?
Per year right now. We're going a little bit slower with this one.
Oh, got it. Okay. And what was the story? How you actually sold your coaching business? Like, because you had a coaching business, what was the story? How did you do that?
Selling the business was actually simpler than I thought it was going to be. I mean, we had over $1 million on contract. We had email, text lists, Facebook group, like over 100,000 people on our lists. And I removed myself from the value chain and branded the whole business under Tribe of Buyers over 3 years. So there were a lot of people that were interested, and I put some feelers out, and I had 6 people that were interested in buying. One guy, Michael Chu, great dude, he just let me leave after a month. So I signed a 1-month independent contractor agreement. And my thing was speed, was selling that business, just getting in and out. So wasn't too difficult.
Interesting. Someone bought it. How much did they buy from you? What was the price?
I can't disclose the exact amount, but it was 7 figures. With a coaching business, you're not going to get the biggest multiple unless you have like a software. And that's what we've been developing in this new business. So
the new business is this one, right? Mix is going to put it on the screen. Is the Masters of Faith, this one, right? Mix, can you put it on the screen? This one, right? Is this the new one?
Yep, we're redoing our website right now. So we have a combination of coaching software and in-person events. Okay. And it's a nice mix between the internal, the spiritual, the becoming our best selves, and also implementing these systems and softwares to scale past 7-8 figures.
But what you are doing differently than a typical coaching consulting business? Like, what's the unique way of doing it right now for you?
We've centralized every system you can possibly imagine in business into our custom software that's built on top of Airtable. So all the automate, basically as a CEO, you want to think about what can I delete, what can I delegate, what can I automate to remove myself from the value chain in business. So we created a software that's very much plug and play with CEO dashboards, SOP creators, funnel creators, ad creation, everything in one place. So yeah, it's super unique.
When I actually saw this, Andrew, if I may to say, I was like, before you were focusing mostly like, hey, if you have a coaching business, let me scale it, because I like checked you out before. And this one has this unique flavor about this brotherhood, and I believe about religion a little bit. What kind of difference have you seen now marketing this versus marketing the thing you had before?
The thing that I had before was pretty simple because it was inception sales. Like, I grew a Facebook group and you're being sold out of a Facebook group, and it's like, do you want to do this thing? Inception sales are so much easier than any other type of sale. So that
Can
was
you
really
expand
simple.
on that? What do you mean inception sale? Inception, I didn't understand this.
Yeah, you're selling the thing that you're currently doing, just like Jeremy Miner's sales programs. Like, you get on a sales call with somebody who's selling you sales, right? It's so much simpler to sell something like that, you know? So that was really simple. I mean, I made all my money. I have all the investments that I want. I'm a pretty simple person. I just really love developing systems. So we have a human OS system, a financial OS system, business OS, and I'm developing a relationship OS with my girlfriend. So that's basically what I'm focused on right now with me and my team.
Okay. Okay. And how does this business generate sales calls? Like, what's the main source of getting kind of traction, interest, sales calls?
Yeah, I've always taught this thing that I call the maximization model. It's inside of my program, or inside of my free community. But it's a combination of high ticket back end, signature offers, low ticket reoccurring, and low ticket templates. But we sell stuff through DMs, low ticket, and then we also have sales calls. I love in-person events. We did $1.1 million in 2019 in 24 hours at Tribe Buyers Live. Yeah, I think a combination between paid ads, organic, and live events is the best way to scale past 8 figures.
So live events, paid ads. But when you mean paid ads, you mean paid ads to promote the live event, or you mean paid ads to a VSL, or paid ads to something else? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it depends on where you're at in business. I mean, what's working well for people that are between like 10 and 50K per month is paid ad to DM, to setter book call. As you scale, you want to get a really dialed in VSL, but that takes a while. And if your messaging isn't dialed in, it's just not going to work. So that's why DM ads are the best at first. But either a training, add to a VSL, or add to a training where setters can book in after they opt in.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So we have around 12% lead to set ratio, and we have setters who are calling them, and we're doing like a VSL funnel. But with DMs, like I have noticed, maybe how much are you paying per lead for these DM ads? And then what's your percentage of people who opt in to actually book a sales call?
We're doing everything organic right now.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm just like focused on operations and fulfillment and streamlining the shit out of that. So we're not doing any ads right now, but when we double down on scale, we definitely will.
And this I think is a cool topic. So it is your YouTube channel, right? And also you have an IG. And I have the same dilemma, right? We both, I also have like around this number of subscribers. You're producing content. The views are from 50 to thousands on some of them. How much like actual business value does this bring to you?
Oh, shit ton. I think everybody should start a YouTube channel. We just started taking it seriously about 6 months ago. And it's been our best organic lead generation source.
Really? But how
And
many leads do you get? Because my channel, like shit, man, it maybe gets like 2 booked calls per month.
Yeah, the good thing about this is I'm talking about systems, pretty high level systems. So it's the quality of lead coming in that's super high. So we don't need a crap ton of book calls right now, especially since we're focused on fulfillment and operations. So our deals are between 30K, 50K, that sort of stuff. On the business side of the business. So we have a brotherhood, we have a sisterhood that's more on the self-mastery spiritual side, and then we have custom systems for our clients. But yeah, YouTube's awesome. YouTube to school to setter. It's been working pretty freaking well.
But could you share like how many leads or how many leads per day, per month you can actually get from people who actually watch your content and opt in? I just want to have a realistic expectation for myself, because I also have similar views to you, but like the opt-ins are not there. Just like I'm just like curious. What do you think? Like, what's the numbers for you, and then what do you think?
We're getting about 6 people per day into our school group. We have one video that popped off, which is creating your task management system. And it has like 20,000 views right now. So that's been great. That's where the majority of the people are coming from.
From one video, right? Okay.
Yeah, we're working on developing more videos like that, because we just need a few to really pop off to grow the channel.
And who makes your YouTube content? Is it just you, or you have like a team of people like helping
Just me.
you with that?
Just me. Yeah.
Okay.
I just shoot shitty Loom videos and post them up on YouTube. Yeah.
It's interesting. What would you say to other people who are in the coaching consulting niche to make more cash collected per month? Because I hear from you, you have your ticket sizes are like huge, like 30 to 50K. That's like mastermind level ticket sizes. I have like, let me give you a reference. So we have 16 people and we do 100K to 100K cash collected, but we have 30 to 69 clients per month. And how does how does your team look like? And then the second question is like, what would you recommend people to kind of price their services? You know, like what would you recommend?
Yeah, great question. My team's super small. I love profit, and most of them are part-time. Yeah, I mean, starting out, you're not going to be able to sell those 50. Like the highest ticket package I've sold is 120,000, and that was in 2020. And he ended up building a multiple 7-figure business and selling it like me. But starting out, you just need testimonials. I recommend everybody do it organically. Just move traffic that you don't own to traffic that you do own. Don't do a free beta program or like free services. Just get on a call with people, do a 1-hour call, ask for a testimonial at the end. You can also ask for referrals. And then first package is always like a beta tester. If you're an agency, then it's a month-to-month thing. If you're doing coaching, it's a 3 to 6 month beta program that turns into your core signature offer. High ticket. I don't recommend anybody do low ticket reoccurring starting out. You're just not maximizing profits. You build your organic audience along the way. It's the easiest way to sell. Too many people are running ads at the beginning to a VSL, and then the show up rates are shit and the conversion rates are shit. But if you do things organically at first, you build your audience, you'll never be poor. Like it's the foundation of an entire company. If you just have an organic audience, and then along the way, you can build out your paid ads to VSL and get that system going. But I see way too many people wasting time and money at the beginning doing that first. Yeah, those are my core.
Interesting to say that, because I have like the opposite opinion on that. Wouldn't you agree that many people, like when they start to build an audience online, it can take maybe years and still nothing's gonna pop, and there's nothing's gonna make a needle moving thing, like.
No, all of our clients do it. If you just implement the system, the organic system on Facebook and YouTube that we just implemented 6 months ago. But we have some really simple strategies for Facebook where you grow an audience pretty quick if you just implement it.
Can you share like 3-5 tactical things anyone watching could do to grow their audience? What would they be?
Yeah, I mean, I would say first, it's all about identifying the hot list. The very first thing is getting testimonials. You get results, you show results. That's the very first thing. So people usually have people in their network already that they can tap into and get a testimonial from them for an hour-long call, something like that. It sounds stupid, but it still works really freaking well. It's the profile funnel that I've been teaching for 7 years on Facebook. people don't look at their current social medias as an asset to grow their business that will make more and more and more money for them. So we just brand our personal profile in a way that leads to sales. You can look at my Facebook personal profile. That's a pretty fucking good example. Then it's just about taking traffic that you don't own and moving it to traffic that you do own. That's all it is. And really simple strategies is in other Facebook groups, people are hanging out and sending them over. Yeah, there's a profile.
So what here is the kind of the key things you have set up that is great? You said the profile funnel.
Yeah, profile banner, professional looking with very straightforward what you do. With an offer, you want to make it ultra specific. We call it the 5 Ps, the person, problem, promise, path, packaging. When we have that nailed down, then we can speak to our ideal client. Most people just dabble and don't get their offer and messaging nailed down right off the bat. And that's why they struggle for years and years and years and years, right? So specific messaging, the profile picture, being professional or just your face. So that's like an authority picture of mine. I'm attracting my ideal client there, right? And sell people what they want, not what they need. So like ultimately I'm more of a spiritual dude, more down to earth and all of that stuff. But I put that up because I'm selling people what they want. It's going past 100K per month. Right. Bio, be really direct to what you're doing. And then the magic is in the content. So we have really simple content strategies to boost engagement, attract our ideal clients, and engage in sales conversations. That, and I think everybody should start an interview series right off the bat, is just start interviewing people in your niche. Because it's the easiest way to grow your network and produce content for your audience that you're building. And if you just interview somebody once a week for 90 days, you'll build your audience. They'll have people come over to your profile or come over to your YouTube from putting their name in and that sort of stuff. So
you mean clients interviewing? You mean like clients, or you mean like random people who are in the niche?
Yeah, I mean, at first you're starting out basically interviewing people that you know and like friends and that sort of stuff. And then once you build up like more and more interviews, that's when you can get the higher level sharks and all that stuff.
What do you think about the coaching and consulting market, that a lot of people right now are starting these low ticket communities, giving similar to stuff where many people actually were charging high ticket prices for like programs and stuff? What do you think that's going to do for the market? What do you think? Is it going to impact it? Doesn't it? What do you think?
There have definitely been shifts to, oh God, nobody's buying high ticket. There's been like a shift back over the past 2 months where people are buying high ticket again because people aren't getting results in the low ticket communities, and you need accountability and you need mentorship to get a result. Like skills, accountability, mentorship are the 3 things that you need. These low ticket communities, very little accountability, very little mentorship, right? So people are starting to realize that they are really good to get people in at a low ticket price point, warm them up. Most people are missing the back end ascension and really dialing in that system. So you've got to have a high ticket back end to maximize profitability, and then you can launch a low ticket reoccurring.
Cool.
But yeah.
What would be some of your hacks to get more shit done per day or in a day?
Breath work.
Oh my God. I just had one more interview and that person said the same thing. He said like Wim Hof, like Wim Hof, this like method of breathing.
It's stupid because like as entrepreneurs online, we have a buildup of cortisol throughout the day from working in front of a computer. It's a stress hormone, which causes us to lose focus and all that stuff. I hit a quick 3 to 5 minute breathwork session every 2 hours or so. And what that does is that increases serotonin, which decreases cortisol. So I move from my amygdala, the fear portion of my brain, to my prefrontal cortex, which regulates my thoughts, feelings, and actions, and gives me another boost for 90 minutes or so.
Can you walk me
I
through the
think
system? Like, how do you like what's the breathing technique?
there are multiple ones. So with breathwork, I've been a facilitator for 2.5 years, and I teach it in three different ways. We have water breathwork, whiskey breathwork, and coffee breathwork.
Okay.
So water breath work is like it helps with heart brain coherence and being more present and in the moment. And we can do that at any time. Like it's like box breathing. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds in, right? Um, just a regular pattern. After 12 reps of that, that's when we start to tap into heart brain coherence and we get more grounded, more focused. We don't really need to think while we're working. Most of our intuition will take over while we're working. Most people just have these running thoughts in their head. If you've read Michael Singer's Surrender Experiment, he talks more about this. Just get out of the head, back into the heart, and then you can focus for way longer, get so much more shit done, and feel way more present. And I needed to learn this from burning out hardcore twice and going to an ashram for a month and going to a monastery for a month. But that's water breath work. Coffee breath work is like breath of fire, or what Sam Skelly calls the blow breath. It's just, you do that for 3 minutes and then you take a big breath in and hold. And then that will give you a nice feeling of being focused, energized, and also more calm. It's a good balance. That's usually what I do every 2 hours or so, is more of a blow breath or a breath of fire. And then you have whiskey breath work, which is like, whoa, you're tripped out. I do that 2 times per week, and it's a total nervous system reset. And that's like a Wim Hof for 20 minutes plus, or a holotropic breathing, that sort of stuff. And it just totally resets the nervous system. I think the world would be a much better place if we just did more breath work, because we start with a breath, we end with a breath, and it's always with us. It's the best tool to use at any time.
Cool. What did you learn from the monks?
Oh, dude, monks are just people too. Like that's the biggest thing that I learned. They loved Nutella. At the monastery that I went to, they loved Nutella. It was like the only sweet thing they had there. Yeah, the biggest thing was they're just people too. They're way more present. They're way more aware. They're more tapped out of the ego. And I think more based in true reality, getting out of the head, back into the body, back into the heart. I think most of the world is just kind of an illusion. We see life as we are, not as it is. And we have the ability at any moment to tap back into the present moment. And that's how we master our lives and live our life by design, not by default, is putting space between our thoughts and intentionally choosing our actions instead of just being a creature of habit,
Wow, that was powerful. That was cool. I like that one. That was very nice.
Thanks.
How do you identify problems currently in your business, and then, and this is like more a question like how other people could do it as well. Like, what helps you to identify those problems?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I learned this back in 2018. I joined Scott Olford's $100,000 mastermind, and there was this dude named Dimitri there that talked about the business value chain. And it's not being taught enough. It's the easiest way to identify what's a bottleneck in my business and what system, process, and person do I put in place to overcome that bottleneck. So business isn't easy, but it is simple. Like, what are we doing in exchange for money? What's our offer? What's the product market fit and our unique differentiator, right? How do I nail down the messaging to make it super specific and talk to my ideal client? That's the most important thing, the offer. And then how am I taking somebody from a stranger to a raving fan and a buyer? It's the value chain, right? So what are my processes, people, and systems to generate awareness, new eyeballs? And then same thing, how am I generating a lead, right? How am I nurturing that lead to become a buyer? How am I presenting the sales opportunity? How am I converting that sale? How am I fulfilling for that client? And how am I generating an upsell referral testimonial, right? To extend customer lifetime value. So each new customer is not $2,000, it's worth $10,000, right? So you just identify your bottleneck in that system, and then you optimize the person, the processes, and the system for that bottleneck, right? And then underneath that, what glues it all together are your systems, your human resources, your people, and your finances, how you're allocating your time, energy, and resources to that bottleneck, right? And then you just do that over and over and over and over. And then there's like an innovation piece to it, but it's just that over and over and over and over.
Let's go. I recently did a YouTube video also on the referral strategies. I was wondering, what are some of your referral generating processes or strategies you have implemented to get more referrals?
Yeah, you just invite, if you're in coaching, you just invite their friend to a call. That's generated the best referral.
What do you mean by that? Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, we have daily calls, and we just have our clients invite their friends to one of the calls, and then they get on a call and they're like, holy crap, this is awesome. And then they book in a call. We found that to be the simplest and easiest way.
Wow.
And the best times to ask for referrals are within the first 21 days. People are hyped. This is new, awesome. You lay down the foundation of the referral program and ask them, who do you know who might be a great fit for this? We'd love to serve them. We want more people like you, yada, yada, yada. And then after a win, we just keep our eyes out for wins, and then reach out for either a testimonial or a referral after that win. So
cool. How do you keep more money in the business?
I've never had a problem with it. Like, I grew up poor, like lower middle class. We never took any vacations or anything. And I think I've always, I learned a lot about finances in my early 20s, just reading a bunch of books, and I used the profit first model. And I always tell my clients, like, our scorecard as CEOs are our profit and loss statements at the end of each month. Like this is how I break down. 0 to 10K, you should just be investing into, like, 10K per month. You should just be investing into your skill sets, and getting the accountability and mentorship you need. Like, if you're under 10K, you don't have enough value right now. That's where I was in 2017, so I invested heavily. So you do that 0 to 10K, you keep the majority of the profit in the business besides investing into your skill sets. 10 to 50K, you're looking at investing into a virtual assistant to get your time back and get shit off your plate. Probably a setter to book in more calls. And towards the end of that phase, a salesperson and a part-time client success manager. So to win your time back on the fulfillment side of things. If you have that minimal viable team, you'll be able to scale past 100K. And you'll keep your profit margins at about 50% as you scale from 10K to 50K, right? Then the next level, 50K to 100K, what you're looking at there is moving the client success manager, it just froze right there. Client success manager from part-time to full-time. You might add one more setter if you have the right lead flow, and that will help you scale past 100K. 100K plus, you need to have at least 2 brains in your business to delegate thinking to. Because if all the thinking's on you, you're not going to be able to scale. So that could be a COO, a chief marketing officer, chief sales officer, or director, whatever you want to call them. But at least 2 brains in the business to delegate thinking to. if you have that and your offers are set up right and you have the right marketing system and lead generation system and conversion system, you'll be able to scale past 300K per month. At 40, we want to be around 40% profit margins. I just see people getting way too bloated in their businesses, and it's like, you don't need to do that. It's just a formula of hiring the right people, having the right systems in place, and
Let's do something wild, which is no interview ever does these things. So let's imagine I'm your client, and let's imagine this is my data, and let me just walk you through the data, and then I want your advice what I should do to make more money. And it's
cool.
gonna be a little bit hard to see maybe. So cash collected 92K. 50K in the English market, 40K in the Latvian market. So I'm like 2 languages. I have a business in both languages. Latvia has like 1.6 million people total. So this is Europe. First payments 80K, second payments 12K, front end clients 54. Meetings done 230. Meetings booked around 400. Ad spend 19% from cash collected. Closing rate 23%, cost per meeting done 80 euros. I am heavily spending money on ads, as you can see, 20%. Yeah, and then our profit margin goes from from 12 to 44%. So it does change a lot depending on sales. So what advice would you give me based on these data points?
Are you just running ads? Is that your...
Yeah, I'm doing ads and I'm also doing content. I am doing the content, but we're not getting anywhere close the lead flow we get from ads, because from ads we get 1 to 2.5 thousand leads, right? And a lot of sales calls. I am doing content, but not producing nearly enough of output.
Yeah. I would say, what was your show rate?
It is from 55 to 75. The month to month jumps.
Yeah. I would say lowest hanging fruit right now is improving the show rate and improving the close rate, which usually comes down to, number one, the messaging around the offer. That's something to always look at. Then we plug it into the pre-call system. So making sure that the pre-call system is good, and you're sending over the right resources and confirming the calls the right way, and increasing that. I would say that's your lowest hanging fruit right now. Easiest way to increase profit margins and all of that stuff, is increasing the price point of the offer, or introducing a new offer, or getting your current clients to buy more. It's not just about getting a client, but it's also about retaining and upselling clients, right? So we had a huge boost in 2019 when we introduced our 7-figure CEO program, which was 30K. And we launched it first at a small in-person event, 12 people. 4 people joined, so it was 120K in one day. And then we did another event, another 120K in one day. And then we did Tribe Buyers Live, which was $1.1 million in 24 hours. And that increased our customer lifetime value so much. So they would join our core program and then join our back-end program. So I didn't have the metrics at the time, but each new customer was worth far more than they were before, So just some things to think about.
When you say these numbers, you mean like everybody paid like pay in fulls, or those are like revenue numbers? And then like...
That's revenue. Yeah. So majority of them were on payment plans, which I wasn't mad about because our retention was great. And we were doing, when I left the company, we were doing $180,000 in recurring revenue per month. So we didn't really even have to market, and all of my expenses were covered. That was one thing that I really wanted to dial in 2019, was just getting a shit ton more MRR, monthly recurring revenue. And then we had 3 times the amount of monthly recurring revenue compared to our expenses coming in. So I always had peace of mind where I was like, it was great.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good example. So what are your hobbies, by the way?
Breath work.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I breath work, meditation, working out, golf.
Golf. What's your handicap?
I don't calculate it.
Okay.
Yeah. And they have some good golf courses down here in Playa. I'm learning bachata and salsa dancing with my girlfriend now. We've been working on that for the past 3 months, which has been sweet. Cause like I felt like an idiot at first. And we would go to these socials and I would be like, I look like so dumb. I was like, oh, this is how my clients feel when they're first starting with this stuff. Like I hadn't put myself in a position in so long where I just felt super dumb around stuff. And it was really cool to experience that again.
What's your kind of favorite movie or TV show?
I watch more YouTube than I do TV or movies. Actually, me and my girlfriend just watched The Gentleman on Netflix.
That's a great one, right? I finished it yesterday, by the way.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. It's so good, right? It's like class.
Yeah.
I like the Guy Ritchie, who's the director. Cool guy.
Yeah.
Has some amazing movies.
It's beautiful, and we just binge watched it in one day. We
Oh
watched
wow,
every
that's fast.
single one.
That's fast.
Yeah.
What's the best investment you have made in yourself?
In myself, it's travel. I think travel by far. I grew up in Ohio, didn't travel at all when I was younger. Kind of, especially in America, you're kind of ignorant to everything. And it just expanded my awareness, my consciousness, my love for other people. So travel. I've been traveling for the past 8 years. So
Let's go. I also need to travel more. Now I have a small baby. Now we're like not traveling at all.
Oh, congrats, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What is one message you would want to say to everybody watching who wants to be a better person?
Oh, good question. Get out of the head and back into the heart. And then their question will be, how do I do that? And it's the absence of thought and proactively creating space in our days where we don't need to do, we can just be. Breath work, meditation, like exercise, just 20 minutes into it, you're fully in your body, you're fully in your heart, right? Make more time for just not thinking. And that comes through tapping into the body, tapping into the breath. I tell this to everybody that burns out, like, you don't have the main problem when you burn out are your running thoughts more than anything. You don't need to hire a health coach. You don't need to do that stuff. Just put yourself in places where you're just not thinking, and allow your body to recover from not thinking. Thinking causes all the problems, right? And when we can not think and tap into our heart, we feel more connection to ourselves and everything around us.
Thank you, Andrew. I love it. Great conversation. Great conversation. Where can people find you? Where should people connect with you if they want to reach out?
Yeah, hit me up on Facebook, Andrew KROEZE, KROEZE. Let me know your favorite thing about this podcast. And then our school community, the 7-Figure Entrepreneur, we have a bunch of free courses in there around breathwork, meditation, business systems, all of that stuff in there.
Let's go, Andrew. Thanks you for your time. Thank you for sharing. And hope to see you in Mexico very soon.
That'd be great, man. Thanks for having me.
Let's go. Stay sharp, my man. And see you later. See you next time.
See you, man.
Bye.